Greetings, everyone. My name is Michael Kiki. From Michael's Playwriting and Acting Workshop and Online Workshop. And tonight we're going to be reading The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allen Poe. The thousand of injuries of Fortunato I had been borne as I best could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. You, who so well know the nature of my soul, will not suppose, however, that I gave utterance to a threat. At length I would be avenged. This was a point definitively settled, but the very definiteness which it was resolved precluded the idea of risk. I must not only punish, but punish with impunity. A wrong is unredressed, and when retribution overtakes its redresser, it is equally unredressed when the avenger fails to make himself felt as to such him who has done the wrong. It must be understood that neither by word nor deed had I given Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I continued as I was my wont to smile in his face, and he did not perceive that smile now was at the thought of his immolation. He had a weak point. This Fortunato, although in other regards he was a man to be respected and even feared, he prided himself on his connoisseurship in wine. Few Italians have the truth, virtuoso spirit. For the most part, their enthusiasm is adopted to suit the time and opportunity to practice imposture upon the British and Austrian millionaires. In painting and joinery, Fortunato, like his countryman, was a quack. But in the matter of old wines, he was sincere. In this respect, I did not differ from his materially. I was skillful in the Italian vintages myself, and brought largely whenever I could. It was about dusk one evening, during the supreme madness of the carnival season, that I encountered my friend. He accosted me with excessive warmth, for he had been drinking much. The man wore motley. He had on a tight-fitting part-strip dress, and his head was surmounted by the conventional cap and bells. I was so pleased to see him that I thought I should never have done wringing his hand. I said to him, "My dear Fortunato, you are likely met. How remarkably well you are looking today." But I received a pipe of what passes for amontillado, and I had my doubts. "How?" he said. "Amontillado? A pipe? Impossible, and in the middle of the carnival." "I have my doubts," I replied, "and I was silly enough to pay the full amontillado price without consulting you in the matter. You were not to be found, and I was fearful of losing a bargain." "Amontillado, I have my doubts. Amontillado, am I satisfied? Them amontillado." "As you are engaged, I am on my way to Lucchesi. If anyone has a critical turn, it is he. He will tell me Lucchesi cannot tell amontillado from sherry. And yet, some fools will have it that his taste is a match for your own. Come, let us go." "Whither?" "To your vaults." "My friend, no. I will not impose upon your good nature. I perceive you have an engagement, Lucchesi." "I have no engagement. Come." "My friend, no. It is not the engagement, but the severe cold, which I perceive you are afflicted. The vaults are insufferably damp. They are encrusted with nitre. Let us go. Nevertheless, the cold is merely nothing. Amontillado, you have been imposed upon as for leches. He cannot distinguish sherry from amontillado." myself of my arm, putting on a mask of black silk and drawing a real clear closely about my person. I suffered him to hurry me to my palazzo. There were no attendants at home. They had been absconded to make sherry in honor of the time. I had told them that I should not return until the morning, and had given them explicit orders not to stir from the house. These orders were sufficient. I well knew to ensure their immediate disappearance, one and all, as soon as my back was turned. I took from their sconce 2 flame bucks, and given one to Fortunato, bowed him through several suites of rooms to the archway that led into the vaults. I passed down a long and winding staircase, requesting him to be cautious as he followed. We came at length to the foot of the descent, and stood together on the damp ground of the catacombs of the Montresors. The gait of my friend was unsteady, and the bells upon his cap jingled as he strode. "The pipe?" said he. "It is farther on," said I, "but observe the white web work which gleams from these cavern walls." He turned towards me and looked into my eyes with 2 filmy orbs that distilled the realm of intoxication. "Nature?" he asked at length. "Nature," I replied. "How long have you had that cough?" My poor friend found it impossible to reply for many minutes. "It is nothing," he said at last. "Come," I said with decision, "we will go back. Your health is precious. You are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy, as once I was. You are a man to be missed. For me, it is no matter. We will go back. You will be ill, and I cannot be responsible. Besides, there is Luchesi." "Enough," he said. "The cough is a mere nothing. It will not kill me. I shall not die of cough." True, I replied. "And indeed I had no intention of alarming you unnecessarily, but you should use all proper caution, as a draught of this medoc will defend us from the damps." He again took my arm, and we proceeded. "These vaults," he said, "are extensive." "The Montresors," I replied. We're a great and numerous family." "I forgot your arms." "A huge human foot door. In a field azure, the foot crushes a serpent rampant whose fangs are embedded in the heel." "And the motto?" "Nemo me impure licet." "Good," he said. The wine sparkled in his eyes, and the bells jingled. "Here,